Is anybody drinking?
No, I have a coffee.
Water. It's a little early.
Are you?
Now I'm almost to the point.
Well, I will if I'm not left alone.
We won't know if you're drinking anyway because you're so gray.
I would
can't
have to
see you.
Oh. What are you worried about? It's a podcast.
It also goes on YouTube. We can't see your face.
I know, but I mean, like,
we have thousands of listeners.
You wouldn't see my face either.
Yeah. We have thousands of listeners, not quite thousands of viewers yet.
Yes.
Fine.
Maybe this is why. Maybe I'm proving your point.
Could be.
Maybe not. We'll never know.
Right.
Could be. All right.
You got to diversify, guys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sure.
I used to give quite a bit of a shit about how my presentation looked for this podcast, and now I can't because of the situation I'm in.
Yeah.
So you get what you get, and you don't get upset.
Okay, thank you. All right, are you ready?
Fine.
Forman,
I'm ready.
Are you drinking, Forman?
Yeah. Are you?
No,
Sounds
'cause
like
you're
you
not.
might. Sounds
No.
like you might need to.
Yeah, fuck you guys again.
Well, I'd have to get up and go get something, and that's going to take
yeah,
even longer.
me too.
Oh.
But I would. I would do
while
it
you're
for
at
you.
It, grab a lamp and shine it on your face.
While you're at it, count these.
There's 4.
All right. Sure, Forman, I guess.
Oh boy.
Hang on.
Oh, good. Okay. Hang on.
I'll wait, guys. I'll wait.
The beer fridge is down here now, right beside me.
Oh, well, that's more important than a lamp.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a big house.
Must be nice.
Be nice.
First world problem.
I was looking for a specific beer, and it took me a minute to find it.
All right.
Big
Can
house
we finally
and
start?
too many beer
beers.
options
No.
to choose. Wow.
Yeah, too many fridges. You know how it is.
We're 47 minutes late. Can we get going?
Sure. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. This.
Glad we have the important things. out of the way.
We got that out of the way.
Yeah.
This is Due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast with Dave, Rachel, and Forman, the daylight savings time of the podcast. Still around, but no one knows why.
Pointless? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
No reason whatsoever.
That's right. And by the way, that joke would have been great on the last episode, or maybe even the one before.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it would have killed on the radio.
You would have killed on the radio. That's right. All right. The big news last episode was Forman is back.
Yeah.
Is now living. You know,
He's back where he belongs in
Living
St.
in-
Thomas.
living in St. Thomas, where he belongs.
Yeah.
And
I wonder if there was some sort of Stats Canada thing I could find that who's ever moved from Halifax to St. Thomas. Probably just us so far.
Really?
I
Do you
doubt it.
think?
No, I
Who
think.
would go that way? Everyone else would willingly go the other way.
Do you
Well,
think
you
so?
moved.
Well, you came back. I don't know.
You moved from Saskatchewan to St. Thomas.
Yes.
You are drawn to St. Thomas.
Yeah.
Yes.
You,
I mean, if I were to choose between Saskatchewan and St. Thomas, I would choose St. Thomas.
I've gone.
Oh,
I
hey.
okay. All right. That's
Wow.
yeah. I
That's-
mean,
I
that's
would.
right. Well, if
Yeah.
if I was to choose between Saskatchewan and Hamilton, I would choose Saskatchewan. So
Yeah,
I don't know
everyone
what
would.
What are you trying to
Sure.
prove here? What are you
Just
trying to
saying, I
prove?
don't blame him.
You've never even been to Saskatchewan.
No, I haven't. But I don't feel compelled to go.
It's great. I thoroughly enjoyed living there. I thoroughly enjoyed living in Halifax. But this is probably my 4th. I've done Oshawa back to London, Regina back to London, now Halifax back to London. Well, St. Thomas, but you know.
St. Thomas, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah.
keep doing it. And last episode, I sat in the kitchen with absolutely nothing else because we
Yeah.
had no stuff for a week.
Yeah.
And now we have stuff. So I'm in my basement.
Oh, good. Okay. When did it show up? Was it the day after that episode?
2 days after that.
When we recorded it.
Did it
Yeah.
show up on schedule, I guess, is the...
Yeah.
Yes, the crew unloading it was great. We said so many times throughout that day, boy, I wish this was the crew that loaded it all.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh.
Because there's a lot of looks and talks
Didn't know
amongst
they were
that
different.
crew of like, why was this packaged like this? Why was this
Oh.
stacked this way? Who would
Right.
put that on top of this? Why did they use so much tape on everything?
Oh my
tape.
They're tape happy. That's like the Christmas gifts where people go tape happy.
Yeah.
Right? Oh. So the unpacking, how's that going now?
Yeah, everything's moved in. Most of the main things are unpacked and in their places where they're gonna be. Only a few things were lost, and this is what this came up.
Lost?
Yeah,
How can
well,
they lose stuff? It's all
well,
in the
not
truck.
lost. I mean, like damaged, smushed, broken.
Oh.
Yeah.
That happens.
Oh.
That
that's
happens.
too bad.
Like one big thing that was quite a top of a conversation that day amongst the
Yeah.
crew was how the people who packed everything up. We have 3 identical IKEA bed frames,
Okay.
and they just put all the parts and the pieces all together,
Oh boy.
unlabeled,
Oh no.
and 2 are doubles, and
Oh,
one's a
boy.
queen.
Oh.
And these guys had to figure out which is which.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's sweet,
That's
Foreman.
at least it
That's-
wasn't you. Mhm.
You are living the dream. That's what you want.
That's what you're paying
That's
for.
exactly what you
Yep.
pay for.
That's what
Yeah.
you're
When
paying
that
for with
stuff
movers.
when that stuff shows up like that, that's when you just go, whoa,
Mm-hmm.
have at it, guys.
Yeah. In which
Yeah.
they even get to the point of like, well, do you want the one in the basement set up for now? Or like, yes, we want the one in the basement set
Yes.
up.
Please set
Yes,
everything
yeah,
up
yeah.
so
Right
we don't
now.
have to.
Yes.
They didn't all go together as well as they did before.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the pieces got mixed up.
Some of the stuff is, some of the bed frame parts are all waterlogged because the
Oh.
crew on the other end had the idea to put our garden hose on top of the bedroom furniture.
What?
And as much as you try and empty a hose of water,
Yeah,
there's
it's
still
hard.
a little bit in there.
It's hard to do.
Oh
yes, it
my
is.
gosh. And then
That's
it
hard.
sat in a truck for a week.
Yes, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We had the kids' bedside tables were smushed, so they're not usable anymore. There's a frame beside me here now, which is barely held together. I don't know how it's even supporting a mattress, to be honest. So,
So do they pay for that? Like what happens? Or
well,
you just
here's
lose?
the thing. We're going through all the items of like, okay, well, here's,
Yeah.
some things that didn't make it. Here's some things that aren't
Mm-hmm.
exactly as good as they used to be. And they're writing all this down, and this crew has no problem writing all this down because it's not really their fault. It's
Right.
it's the moving
We
company.
don't care. Yeah.
Jay, in Halifax, who's going to have to eat all that cost?
Mm-hmm.
A big national moving company you'd think would be better at this.
That's awesome.
Well, they
Uh-huh.
also have
Uh-huh.
money that they don't care if stuff
But-
gets broken. They
well,
can pay you.
So here's the thing that one of the guys brought up the fact that, like, just so you know, it's a new policy that we don't cover IKEA furniture.
Specifically?
If it's broken and it's from IKEA, brand new policy. He's like, you can write it down, you can try and claim it, see what they say, but I just know that it's a new policy now that we will not cover it.
That's
Really?
IKEA's policy. That's their IKEA's policy. It's like, isn't their furniture mostly just made out of paper? I mean, I don't know. It's,
Yeah.
it's cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going
Well,
to
they're
cover
not the
that?
only one. I'm sitting
the
here at a
whole-
desk made out of the same crap that's from Costco.
Yes. Well, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, it's all
that's
MDF, everything
is-
now.
Is that not their business model at IKEA? Like, it's cheap stuff because you keep coming
We make
back
the
for
parts,
more.
you put it together.
That's right.
Whatever. They don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, but don't smush it. It's
it'll-
the Packer's fault for smushing it.
Well, that's
It's not
true.
my fault
I
that it's
think-
broken.
I think if it
That's
gets
true.
I think if you blow hard on anything made by IKEA, it falls over. I mean, this is.
But I agree with Forman. Like, if you're moving it, it can be moved. Like, it's the mover's
Yes.
fault if it gets broken.
I don't think so. I don't think IKEA stuff is made to be moved. That's why you put it together when you get it home. It's not made to move.
You can move.
It's
This
it's just not.
you
half
had
of the
known
stuff
that
had to move
before-
from St. Thomas to Halifax
That's
and
the-
now back to St. Thomas.
Right, so
whole-
it got there the first time.
That's the whole reason you have IKEA in the first place. You
Oh,
want cheap
gosh.
stuff? We got it for you.
I want to know
It's
what
like-
IKEA thinks of this. What would they think of the policy being singled
Yeah.
out by moving companies and
That's
say
true.
all leather furniture made with the exact same material is
They
covered
don't
except
care.
yours.
They don't care. They
Yeah,
want
yours
it to-
is so
they-
shitty. We're not covering
Yeah.
it with their
They
policy.
want it to break. That's what they want. That's what they.
They
you'll
want you
just
to come back.
for more.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Maybe
How
they
do you-
encouraged the policy.
How do you
That's true.
think? How do you think Old Navy stays in business?
Single-use clothing.
That's
Yeah,
right. Wear it
basically.
once,
Yeah.
buy another.
If you wash it, you're.
Really.
This is due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast with Dave, Rachel, and Forman. This podcast is, it's like a cold, gray November day, really. It's not very popular.
Not really. No.
Sadly.
Tell your friends, please.
Yes.
Tell your friends
you don't
about
mind. Tell us about
Hey, I know this podcast that I like. I'm one of the only ones.
It really
should
fills
try
the
it out.
time when I have nothing else.
This podcast is like when you taste something, you're like, that's disgusting. Try this.
Yeah, that's why we get the warning. Thanks for all that, Rach. We get the warnings on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. The podcast version
Not
of,
for kids.
You should
Not
smell
for
that.
Not for kids.
Does anybody else, when you're playing, speaking of kids and games, because my kids play a lot of games on their phones, iPads.
Were we speaking of kids and
Well,
games?
you said not for kids.
Kind of,
Anyway,
sort of.
I was trying to be like Dave, most likely to segue, but
Yeah.
clearly I'm not.
Least likely to segue.
Least likely.
You are working with the master. Don't
I know.
try it.
I can't. I
Okay?
can't measure up.
Yeah,
I just don't. I
Don't
can't.
try this at home, Rach.
Does anybody else, when they play games on their phone, try to not look at the ads when they come on? Like I find myself when the ads come on. So like after pretty much every move on Words with Friends, there's an ad.
Right.
And then I try and just not look at it because I'm silently fighting the ad companies to be like, I'm not going to look at it. I'm going to put my phone down and not look at it for the 1 minute that it's on, which is ridiculous, by the way, that it's a minute long. And all the ads, well, not all of them, I would say 80% are for this game called Royal Match. Have you seen those?
Royal Match has really become a pain in the Royal.
It really has become a pain.
Yeah.
And now they've
Pain in
the
hire,
ass.
I
Yeah.
think they hire celebrities on that
They're
Cameo.
not even celebrities. They're
Yeah.
not even. I don't even know
Well,
who
some
they
of them are random people, but the one guy was from Suits that I see, and the other guy from
If it's not Meghan Markle, it's not a celebrity.
Yeah, nobody
No.
knows anybody from Suits. Other
well,
than
nobody
Meghan
knew
Markle.
her until she married what's
Wow.
his face.
Exactly.
Anyway, so they hire these,
What's
you
his
know,
face?
pseudo celebrities. Right, to say how awesome Royal Match is and you should play.
And there's
and
no ads.
There's no ads. That's their number one thing. They're like, you got to play this game. There's no ads. So the thing that pisses me off about games is that there's so many ads. And then I'm like, well, if Royal Match doesn't have ads, maybe I should try it. And then I'm like, nope, I'm so pissed
No,
off with
don't
their
do it.
ads
Don't
that
do
I
it.
refuse to download that game and try it, even though it doesn't have ads.
Is that
For
game
a game
free?
that's not. Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
so.
it's
I
free,
don't know. I
but it
haven't
says
tried
no
it.
ads. Yeah, here's the
For a
thing.
game that says they don't have ads, they sure have a lot of money to create ads about their game.
They seem
And
to.
it's free, so I don't know how they're making
They
money.
seem to. Well, ads. I don't know.
Well, they're not. They don't have ads to sell.
They're
Anyway, it
doing
just
something.
pisses me off how many ads are in game. Like you can't get away from it, and I
Well,
refuse to pay for games. I won't. So I'm just stuck with watching all the ads all the time.
You
But
must
I
play a lot of
refuse to get
games.
Royal Yeah, well, because the kids always download a million games, right? Or they'll get games where they can only play like 3 levels and then you have to pay, or there's only 3 options available. And then if
Right.
you want to unlock everything else, you've got to, and they're like, Mom, will you pay? I'm like, no, I'm not paying
No,
for that.
no.
Like,
Pay
this
for
is
that
our
stuff.
family
Never.
policy.
Never.
I pay for the
Never,
cloud
never.
now that I already don't use. I'm not paying for more ads.
Don't do it. Don't
or
do
for
it.
less ads or
Don't
whatever,
cave.
for other
don't,
things.
Don't pay for any of
No,
that stuff. No,
I
never
refuse.
pay. Never pay.
This is
well,
my
listen,
silent protest against ads. I just refuse to look at them when they come up on my phone.
No, I do the opposite. I try to, and I find this quite frustrating. So when you get to be of a certain age,
What age is that?
Well, try to imagine what age that is.
Uh-huh.
You want to make sure that you keep your brain active, and so I use
Sure.
my iPad, and I do
You
games.
use it to take videos at concerts?
No, not at all. Never that. No, I don't do that. No, I just use it for games
family
that.
reunions.
Yeah, I don't do that. I just use it to play a few games that I feel are maybe giving my brain a workout. But in the middle of it, my brain gets annoyed because I get ads.
Yes.
But
so annoyed.
They go, these ads are not a minute long unless I ask for that. If I, would you like something? You have to watch an ad and then we will give you something for free. And
Right,
I don't,
free
I'm
coins
like,
or whatever.
No, I'm not doing that. I don't want
I never
free.
do that.
Don't do any of that. So the ads that I get, I figure are going to be like 5-10 seconds max.
No, my ads are like
any
30
longer
seconds
than that,
to a minute. It's ridiculous.
all I do is end up. It's very frustrating, and maybe it's good for my brain, but all I'm doing is cursing and yelling at my iPad.
And then playing the game is no longer fun because there's too many ads.
No, it's too many ads.
I know. I hate it.
But I will admit that recently, one of the ads that I got, and it made no sense to me, which is why I liked it. At first, I didn't get any audio on the ad, so I didn't really understand it. It was for Amazon, and there was some dude who checks out his chest hair, and then the next thing you know, he gets a package from Amazon, and he pulls this thing out, and the next thing you know, he's in his bathing suit, hairless, on his chest and his back, and he does one of those dives into freezing cold water.
Oh yes,
and
I've seen it.
And I looked at it and I went, "What the hell was that?" But I didn't get any audio. And then the next time I saw it, I think I got audio on it, and it made perfect sense because it was some guy from a northern country somewhere who went on Amazon and got a laser hair remover to get rid of all of the hair on his chest and his back.
Okay.
Because, and the tagline is, as he jumps into the frozen cold, if you've seen it, less hair, more air.
Why are you perpetuating the ad that you hate?
Because
now you're telling more people about the ad.
Because I love that ad.
Selling their goddamn product.
I love that ad. I don't know what product they're selling. The hair remover?
Amazon.
It's
Who
Amazon.
cares?
Amazon.
Who
Must
cares?
be Amazon.
We're all on Amazon anyway. Why does
That's
Amazon
true.
even need to advertise?
I don't know,
get
actually. I don't get it either, to be honest.
Anyway,
everyone uses Amazon.
Because that ad is so out there, I like it. And I'm happy that I discovered that on my iPad. But there are very few ads that are out there.
That you like.
Yes. Unfortunately.
Well, most of the ads I get on games are ads for other games.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Which is how my kids learn about new games, and then they're like, "Mom, can I get this?" And I'm like, "Okay, I have to check it out before
So
I
you're
let them."
caving. You're
Yeah.
caving.
No,
Well,
it was
then
it was last summer where you were in PEI, Rachel, and so are we. And one of the other kids, the families we were with, they all are, finally connecting on, what do you do on your tablet? And what games are you playing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the other kids, and his parents are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. He taught Emily, who was only 5, how to download like every game on the internet.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
good.
The whole tablet was full with that, and it's all in Korean and stuff, so you can't
What?
understand how to stop it.
How does that happen?
Because they would just go through every game, and any ad for another game, they would download that game. It absolutely
yeah.
exploded.
We don't know. I have to vet them. You got to change your iCloud thing.
Oh, we have, because of that.
Yeah, you got to so I have to put in my password every time so the kids can't download
Yes.
whatever they want.
Yeah.
Or my thumbprint. And Kendall says, "How come my thumbprint doesn't work?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just only mom's. only
a
mom's
weird-
works.
Weird thing about thumbprint.
Anyway,
Yeah.
if you have a game that doesn't have ads other than Royal Match, I would love to hear about it because
Royal
it just
Match.
pisses me off.
This is due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast, and we are Dave, Rachel, and Forman. This is the podcast that's just long enough to make you wish it was shorter. I don't even really know what that means, but it sounds good.
Everyone
You should
listening does.
that should be our handle.
You
Just
probably didn't
long
even
enough.
make it this far. Like, you've probably
That's right.
tapped out after the first two things.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if you did, you'll be sorry because it's time for a good idea, bad idea.
It's time for another good idea, bad idea.
This is the part. This is the part where you're hearing 2 months later after you stopped on Spotify, and the next time you Bluetoothed it to
Yep.
something, this started playing again.
Yes. Oh, that's where I left off.
Exactly. Here we go. It's
Welcome
time to,
back.
it's time to explore the internet world, the world at large. Find things and wonder, is this a good or a bad idea? I have a laundry list of good idea, bad ideas for you today, okay?
Yep.
So let's just go and we'll start with food good idea, bad ideas, because we used to love those.
Okay.
And they're still around. And the Heinz people are usually behind good idea, bad idea food things.
A lot of times, yeah.
Yeah, they are now, their new ketchup, which doesn't come out until sometime in the new year, apparently. is called pickle ketchup.
Oh,
It's very dilly. It's got the flavor of
Okay.
pickles.
I can go
Apparently,
for that.
Good idea.
Actually, apparently those who have tried it say, and I don't know how you would try it, but they probably have tested this somewhere. Those that have tried it say it's very similar to, the ketchup and pickles you would get on, say, a McDonald's burger.
Right.
So
You mean the
tastes
combination of foods you're already eating.
Yes.
They might say it's very similar to eating merely ketchup and relish together in the first place that you
I was
already
gonna say,
do.
if you like
Yeah,
relish,
but-
then you know
Yeah,
what?
but
Jeremy and I
relish
have
is-
been
relish is sweet. Dill is not
can be
sweet.
dilly, I guess. We've started making a Big Mac salad. We found a great recipe for it, and
What is that?
it's actually quite easy. It's lettuce and pickles, ground beef,
Yeah.
tomatoes, onions,
Yeah.
and cheese on your salad, and then the sauce is the Big Mac part of it, which is essentially every condiment in your fridge mixed together.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
So
whatever
like
works-
ketchup,
whatever works for you.
relish, mustard, a little bit
All
of
right.
lemon juice. Yeah.
Okay.
So I could see that would be good.
Yeah, actually, we talked about that. We did a thing, Forman, after we were no longer, you were in Halifax, and I think we did, what's the deal with dill? Remember, we did a whole segment, as you can appreciate, Forman, that was what we called it. What's the deal with dill? Which
Yeah,
we thought was
I think
very
we did
clever.
Yeah.
But it's
People
about
love dill.
that's about as
Pickles,
clever as that's about as clever as we get. So.
Oh, I thought you were
More
going to say
dill.
people loved what's the deal with
No,
dill.
they didn't. But we did, as you might imagine. Anyway,
We don't
yeah,
care what
sure.
everybody else
I don't
likes.
care
We
about
only do
pickle
what we
ketchup.
like.
Pickle ketchup is
Yeah.
a fine idea.
Sure.
How about fish flavored liqueur?
Nope,
Bad
bad idea.
Very
place,
bad.
Place in New Hampshire has a new brandy that tastes like smoked trout.
Nope.
No, that's very
Not
terrible
for me,
idea.
they don't.
Disgusting.
Okay. They $65 a bottle.
Absolutely not.
What?
They also have a whiskey that tastes like crab and
No.
another that tastes like deer meat.
Nope, and nope.
I don't know if the deer meat even.
I
The
don't
deer
know
meat
all
might
that.
be the best of all three, but I wouldn't try it.
I don't need
I've-
booze flavored like meat.
No, I've had
Or
a couple,
meat flavored booze.
I've had a couple of whiskeys with a crab.
Sure.
And I won't mention her name, but I have no desire.
I hope you're not talking about me.
Oh no, not at all. All right. What's next here? Oh, a man in Massachusetts says his lifelong dream came true on Halloween when he handed out full rotisserie chickens to trick-or-treaters who stopped by his home, along with
Wow.
candy bars. So the kids had a choice. Would you like a full rotisserie chicken,
Yep.
No thanks.
still warm?
Yes,
still warm,
absolutely.
or
That's a
would you
great
like
deal.
candy? Only 2 of the 20 kids took him up
Yeah.
on his rotisserie chicken. He had
Of course.
20 rotisserie chickens in the house.
20 that he
was
had
his-
for.
It was
Okay.
his lifelong dream to do this.
I'm surprised
Um,
that's a lifelong dream. I mean, it's just a funny thing, but a lifelong dream. I
Well,
mean,
look, we all have
really.
to have. Look,
We
you
all
have
need
to
a
have a
dream?
dream. You
Yeah.
should. Look,
Okay.
you should follow your dreams. And
Sure.
if your dream is to hand out rotisserie chickens,
Get
full
better
ones,
dreams.
Have
no,
at
that's
it.
a great dream.
Do you know what?
I love this idea.
One year, my stepdad handed out a potato. He put potato, at least one potato, in the candy bucket, and he let kids choose. I
Bad
think
idea.
By the end of the night, one kid took the potato, and he's like, "I got a potato!"
Yeah, that would
And
do
it's a
it.
thing. I saw something online where this
Kids
guy
would be
gave away
thrilled
potatoes.
with a potato. Sure.
Listen,
why wouldn't?
so I saw something online where somebody was giving away potatoes, another person, and all the comments were, with the price of food right now, I'm taking that potato and have a lunch tomorrow with baked potato.
There you go. See?
You
I'm
get a
not taking the
rotisserie
chicken. I'm
not-
That's like $5 to
Why?
$10.
I'm
Right.
10 years old. I've got a pillowcase full of candy. I'm going to put a
Right.
chicken on top of that?
Why would
Well,
not?
that's true. You don't want all the chicken
Look,
juices
if
ruining your candy.
I get it if you're older and you're trick or treating without mom and dad, but if mom and dad are with you,
Yeah.
take the rotisserie
I'm saying
chicken
get the
Well, yes.
chicken.
for sure.
Sure.
I'm great at
That's
it.
dinner.
Spitting out the beer,
Maybe
the
two.
coffee in my travel mug from the sidewalk and say, no, we'll take the chicken.
Yes. The
Okay.
coffee and Bailey's, right?
All right.
Obviously.
All right, so you say bad idea, Foreman. You don't want chicken.
Bad idea if I'm a child, yes.
I
Okay.
say good idea.
I think it's
Sure.
a great idea.
Feed
Go
your
for it.
family.
Yeah, I think and the potato thing works for me too. Why not?
Bad idea if that's your lifelong dream. Also.
And well,
Well,
we all have to have dreams.
I guess.
Yeah. What do you mean? I guess that's a
I mean,
great
that's
dream.
not my dream, but
No, but that's a
anyway.
great dream. I like that dream.
It's
If
funny.
that's the one that resonates with you, you go, man. You
Okay.
do it.
I mean, do it from now
Hey,
on. You're the
yeah.
rotisserie chicken
It's a
house.
lifelong dream.
Yeah.
He's been dreaming of doing this maybe since he was a kid, and now just realized his dream. Good for him. And a news site did a big write-up recently on a long-standing rumor at Disney parks that people are so desperate to keep their spot in line at certain rides, they sometimes poop right there on the ground.
What?
According to this article, it's true. It
What?
happens more than you think. Good idea,
No.
bad idea to poop in line.
Bad idea.
At
That's-
Disney World or
That
Disneyland,
Bad
depending on which
idea.
side of the coast you're on.
That's not even
No?
a question. That's a terrible idea, but I don't believe people are doing that. Who's pooping like you're just pulling your pants down and pooping in line? Like in front of everybody?
Well, and
nobody's
it's-
doing that.
And it's not contained because the employees don't want to have to keep cleaning it up. So something's
Exactly.
left behind for them to clean up.
Two former
What?
Disneyland janitors talked about this in their
No.
2015 book, Rachel, called Cleaning the Kingdom. There's a whole chapter called Disgusting Things.
Okay.
Another worker at Disney World in Florida said there's a specific hallway employees call the poop hall because it happens so much. It's in the line for the ride Avatar Flight of Passage. If you happen to be going, to Disney in the near
Uh-huh.
future, you may want to avoid that ride. It stinks.
Okay, so people are pooping in the hallway and then just getting on the ride with
It's not
poopy-
just people. It's
poopy
kids.
bums?
Look, it's kids. Kids aren't the
Oh,
only ones
kids.
doing it. But what happens is you get into line. Have you ever? I mean, you've been to Disney World, right?
Yes.
You've been
10
you know
years
what-
ago was my last time, though.
Yeah, you know what the lineups are like, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
They're
But you
brutal.
can pay for like the genie pass or whatever.
Or
That's
or
the new kind of fast
Don't
pass.
stand with the poopy people pass.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, you can pay for that if you want. They're very expensive,
Yes.
especially when you start dealing with parks around in Florida. I would imagine the Disney
Yeah.
one is not cheap.
Yeah.
That's
it's a
the
certain
front of the
price per
line
day.
or whatever
Oh, yeah.
whatever those things are called. Sure.
Right.
Anyway, what happens is you don't want to give up your line. You've been there. Sometimes the lineup can be an hour and a half,
Oh,
2
yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
Can be even longer. You don't want to give up your spot when your kid goes, "Mommy, I gotta poop." Oh, well, you see that garbage can over there? Let's go hide behind it. Nobody's.
my God.
No
You
one's
can't hide.
No
You're in
one's
a, I've
looking.
been in
not-
an
I can't- not
hours-long line
getting
for
out of line.
friggin' Peter Pan, which is
I'm
not
not-
worth it.
Yeah, it's called Pooper Pan.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
right.
my! Come on! This I just don't know that this is happening all that often.
It
like
is.
I bet
They
you a
call it the
couple
poop
people-
hallway.
Yeah.
They have a
No.
code H, which
Yes.
used to be for horses pooping on Main Street, but now it's for humans.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay, that's.
We even
Who's- has anyone
Peace.
seen this happen? Like, come on.
I haven't confirmed anyone's specifically seen it happen,
Yeah.
but I did talk about it on the radio in Halifax.
Oh,
and
did you?
Stacy did text to say, "Good grief, the Avatar line even has a bathroom halfway through it, and people still do it in the poop hallway."
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, okay. Like, I get that you don't want to get out of line or whatever, but
Uh-huh.
I'm not pooping in the hallway.
You letting your kids poop in the hallway?
Thanks,
Probably
Rach.
not. I'm getting
Thanks,
out of
Rach.
line.
I mean,
I'd probably get out of
I-
line
I
and be
underst-
like, "We're not doing that ride now. Too bad. You had to poop. We're done." Like,
well, the Disney
we're going to the
people,
bathroom.
the Disney people now say that instead of doing that, they would appreciate if you don't do that. They would like it if you
Obviously.
don't do that. Well, obviously, somebody's got to clean that mess up.
Right.
Yeah, so what they say is you should flag down a Disney employee as soon as you can.
Uh-huh.
And they will say, "Oh, absolutely, you may exit the line, and we'll hold your spot until you get."
Oh, so they'll
They-
come and stand for you.
They'd rather do that than clean up after you.
Well,
Yes.
yes, that makes sense.
Didn't we have?
They
wasn't
should have
it a
that at every
headline
line, 'cause there's so
years
many
ago
kids.
where police were called? Security had to escort some guy out of a Kenny Chesney concert because he pooped his pants.
Yes. Yes.
I don't remember that.
Yes, it's true.
I think it was
true.
Kenny
He's
that called,
actually-
and he's just like, "Well, once you poop your pants, and Kenny Chesney, your night's over."
Yes,
Time to
your
go
night's
home.
over. Time to go home. That's it.
He is the party pooper, yeah.
This is due to Underwhelming Demand, the podcast. We are Dave, Rachel, and Forman. This is the point in the podcast where we're, for those who beg for it, just about done. And we also, read some of your correspondence.
Yeah.
And remind you that if you know someone, if you yourself would like to sponsor this poor little podcast, you can by getting a hold of us.
Yes, Dave Rachel Forman at gmail.com, or send us a message on Facebook or Instagram. We'd love to have you on board. Prices start at $75 per episode.
Mm-hmm.
So
There you
we've
go.
got, and then we have packages that are more than that. So prices for everybody. Email us anytime if you're
for every budget.
Every budget.
That's right.
That's
we have
right.
that. That's
Yeah.
right. And plenty of free parking. So hot dogs for the kids.
Conveniently located at the corner of
Yes.
with friendly and knowledgeable
Exactly.
staff.
All that stuff.
Yeah, we are
All
friendly and
that
knowledgeable.
stuff.
That's
All
right.
that stuff.
We got some messages on since our last podcast, and we love to get your messages. We love to read them as well. So thank you very much. Dave Powery always comments on our podcast. He listens every week. So thank you, Dave. He says, I just listened to the last podcast, and I heard that Forman is back in St. Thomas, but you didn't say where he's going to be working. Forman?
In the basement, I think. Isn't
Yeah.
that where you're
Right now
working?
he's in the
Right now.
basement and looks
That's
very
right.
gray.
It looks terrible if you watch this on YouTube. There's a pile of pillows over here. I've got a comforter from one of the kids' beds hanging from the ceiling. This behind me is just a rug. It's a shag rug that I hung from a beam with fishing wire
Yeah.
to go between me and the noise of the furnace.
Yep.
Okay.
But this is
Okay,
my
well, good for
studio.
you.
This is my recording studio now, where I'm still on the radio in Halifax 5 days a week for as long as possible and doing as much as I can there. And I'm involved with all other things behind the scenes there as well, and that whole chain of radio stations. So doing the best that I can.
Yeah. Turns out you
From
can
St.
still
Thomas.
work. You can still work in Halifax from St. Thomas. How about
Exactly.
The
Yeah.
things we figured out during the pandemic, eh?
Yes.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Trudy had sent us a message on Instagram saying, well, the one thing I took away from this episode, last one where we announced this, is that you'll be doing this for years. Or at least I assume that when Dave and Forman said they wanted updates on Rachel's kids' litter habits for years to come.
yes.
It wasn't specified that it wouldn't be on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, you
Well,
know.
we like each other, so
Yeah,
we like doing it.
Yeah.
The update on the litter thing is the kids have
Oh,
been
we're getting one so soon.
well, they've been doing it. They've been throwing stuff out. They've been doing it.
Hey.
Well,
So I'm impressed. Yeah. And then my mom came over and purposely ate candy and threw all the wrappers on the floor because she thought that was funny that I should clean up after her after all these years that she cleaned up
That's
after me.
very well done, Mom.
Yes, and she
Kudos
refused to
to
pick
Mom.
it up. And
Yeah.
so then I had to clean it up. And actually,
Good.
Kendall helped me because she
Wow.
said, Gigi, that's not, we're not supposed to do that.
Perfect. Way to go,
and-
Mom.
Yeah.
Another update on something you mentioned, Rachel, I think it was last episode, is from Melissa, where she says, Foreman is back. That's great to hear. And Rachel, I just took my kids to the Wiggles concert in London last month. I was there for the Purple Wiggle.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Purple Wiggle John, the new one.
We're talking. What are we talking about here? Is that band? Is
The
it
Wiggles.
Okay, what the?
The Australian,
She
you
went
know,
to
the-
see the Purple Wiggle. I'm not sure what that meant. Okay,
That means
Fine.
that's
All right.
exactly what it sounds like in
Yes.
this context specifically.
Yes.
And Melissa
He's,
also went on to say, I figured out how to listen to you guys. I pull up your videos on YouTube while I'm on the treadmill instead of binge watching a TV show.
Oh,
So,
wow.
hey.
Oh, well, there
Okay.
you go. That's
Sure.
nice. Thank you.
You go.
We
Keep
do,
going.
we do wonder
Harder.
how do you
harder,
listen to us?
Harder.
Run,
Faster.
run.
Well, she says she needs the motivation, and if my motivation is going to be watching your hilarious podcasts, then I'm going to keep it up.
Okay. Well, good.
Good.
Good. That's good. I'm
We
happy.
got,
I'm happy about
thank you very much, Melissa. We got a message from Sherry who says, "Hi, guess what? We went to Sudbury again, so I caught right up. Several hours of your wonderful selves were enjoyed again. I need an update, and I have a tip. Update needed. Does Charlotte still not have Crocs? My daughter is a couple of weeks younger, also just got her G2, and every single one of her friends has several pairs, so it's definitely not just a preteen thing."
Well, no Crocs here, not yet.
Okay.
Although, not Charlotte, but Janice spotted. Have you seen the elf?
Yes.
The elf Crocs,
I have
which
seen the
are
elf Crocs.
everywhere. They're all. I mean, and she's dying to get those.
Really? Oh,
Not
well, I
yet.
was just at a Crocs store. I could have picked them up for you. I didn't.
Oh,
I
you
would have
get-
thought the
you can
perfect
get 'em.
addition to Charlotte's wardrobe would be the Ronald McDonald collection of
No,
Crocs.
thanks.
Oh.
no.
I
she
would have
does-
gotten the Barbie ones.
She doesn't want those
Barbie-
ones. No.
They had a whole Barbie one.
Yeah.
She also says that P.S. Her daughter is really jealous that Charlotte gets a new car. She has a 2009 Ford Focus. So they got the new car.
Well,
Her kid got the beater.
know,
Yeah, that's how
We-
it's supposed to work.
Yeah,
We were in a
not
situation.
at Dave's house.
We were in a
North of
situation.
Fanshawe.
No.
Everybody gets a new car.
No. I'm not Oprah. This was a situation where there's no way she could have driven the old beat up vehicle. Like it was really, no.
Really beat up.
Yeah, it
was
just
done.
so it. While this is not the ideal situation, it will get us through the next. And then once she decides she wants to go off to university, you can do whatever you want. Get
Right.
your own car. I'm not
Yeah.
doing you. You can't have ours anymore.
Sherry also says, "Here's a tip for Forman. My niece gets car sick. You need a box of Ziploc freezer bags in the vehicle. She would get sick. They zip it up, and it's all contained until they get to a garbage to dispose of.
Wow.
Thanks for doing what you do. We enjoy it so much."
Thanks for putting that picture in my mind too. I appreciate
Well,
that. I appreciate
you know.
it.
We do normally have a stack of the actual lined airline puke bags because we've
Great.
flown flares
good
so
idea.
often between London and
You
Halifax.
just
but
take them with you.
we're running out now.
Oh, poor Emily.